that what we're doing here is redefining how you even teach ministry students how to prepare. For far too long it's been based on here's the academic way to do it. I'm trying to go back and say here's the biblical way to do it, and academics is certainly a part of that, but it's also having students out in the community.
That's right. The University of Mobile prepares its graduates for their future careers and other roles.
Dr. Joe Savage, director of the university's Center for Leadership, says the expectation is for them to be a positive influence in the workplace, community, and nation.
Dr. Savage recently sat down with our Eric Reynolds to talk about developing these leaders and why they're needed. Here's the interview.
Our parents were always there. They encouraged us to strive to that there was no such thing as a failure, to take some risk. But I think most importantly was the Christian foundation. Certainly we had our issues, but that solid foundation of faith was constant in our home.
Dr. Joe Savage is standing and still building on that foundation today. He's the director of the Center for Leadership at the University of Mobile. He believes lessons learned years ago at home and in his family's business were very important to his career path.
Our summer jobs were there at the store and some of the holidays, and so we also learned about work. We learned about dealing with everyday people, learned about leadership and morality and doing things at a high level of character.
In high school, Savage felt a call on his life.
At the age of 17 is where I really placed my faith in Christ. During that senior year, really built that foundation. I've sensed God calling me into the ministry.
Savage was willing, but internally he was wrestling with a major challenge, a speech impediment.
I was a little embarrassed because I couldn't say a word correctly. That day I said, I'll never speak in public again. And I didn't all the way through high school unless I was called upon. I said to the Lord, well, I can't even talk right.
In college, while on a trip to the Soviet Union, Savage says he stepped into God's blessing.
I was standing in Moscow. It was my turn to talk, and I got up with a translator, and God greatly blessed it. And I realized, I was like, well, I don't have a speech problem because they don't understand I have this impediment. And my confidence grew. I just began to speak more and more. God began to put it more and more into my heart, and just one thing led to another.
Today, Dr. Savage speaks before classes and larger audiences. His media, public, and ministry appearances and keynote addresses totaled nearly 1,900. His message of overcoming challenges and the need to develop leaders with character landed at the University of Mobile 3 years ago.
Our economy had just tanked.
The fear gripping the market. Is it the worst you've ever seen?
By far. There's no question.
A lot of that found its root in immorality and ethics. And so I saw the need amongst leaders, corporate leaders, athletic leaders, church leaders, etc., that they had to have a sense of morality, a sense of ethic, or it was going to damage the whole country as we had just witnessed. What we're doing is to try to impact the country, be an influence from this little campus in North Mobile to have a significant Christian influence nationally. It's not just about being a businessman or a teacher in the classroom, but it's about integrating their faith into that, into the workplace, and doing things with excellence, and also being an example to others of who Christ is.
The Center for Leadership is developing future pastors and church leaders.
What we're doing here is redefining how you even teach ministry students how to prepare. Here's the biblical way to do it, and academics is certainly a part of that, but it's also having students out in the community. It's about leading in the community and being a spiritual emphasis and influence on leaders, bring solutions to problems. And I'm trying to get our students to see how they can be a solution, which makes them a leader.
Before his return to Mobile, Dr. Joe Savage made a living speaking before influential leaders. This work he loves even more.
What a privilege and a true honor to get up every day. I love coming to work, influence these students on how to become a pastor, how to become a missionary, how to love people and make a difference in their life, and get to do that every day. Well, it beats anything else I've ever done in my life.
At the University of Mobile, Eric Reynolds, Fox 10 News.
Dr. Savage, a graduate of Mobile College, is also director of the university's 1223 movement, which is a national grassroots effort to transform America.
That's right, and from the age of 5, Savage grew up in Cottage Hill Baptist Church under the leadership of Dr. Fred Wolf. Today at Luke 4:18 Fellowship, he serves as Wolf's senior associate pastor.
And if Dr. Savage reminds you of someone, his brother is Senior Bowl Executive Director Phil Savage.
Yes.